Hello, everybody. My name is Mahael Abdul-Qawi. I'm the founder and representative of the Accountability Party for Human Rights, a political vanguard organization comprised of individuals who have chosen the path of self awareness and self understanding to become something more for themselves, for their loved ones, family, and friends, and then at large their communities. In this video, I would like to discuss, I want to open up the conversation about what is currently going on in Eastern Europe with the invasion of Russia into the Ukraine. And with this recent events, I don't want to talk about the event specifically. And that is purposely why I waited to talk about it. Although the invasion happened a couple days ago, I wanted to make the video then, but I decided to hold off on it because I don't want to discuss the events themselves. I wanted all the major news publications and all the major platforms online to discuss the matters first. I wanted them to break down the chronological order for people. I wanted them to handle all those because this channel, although we talk about things political in nature, although we aim to expose those who are using their influence and their power to ruin the livelihood of the working class, the ultimate goal for this channel, for the Accountability Party for Human Rights, is not solely politics. It's about the spirit. It's about the soul. It's about living in a life of truth, living a life where you aim every day, even if you falter, to become something more. So in this video, I want to talk about the human nature and more so the importance of living in a truth, especially right now as we enter in these times. And it's important that we talk about the spirit and we talk about truth right now because we live in a era of human society right now where those who are corrupt, where those who have so much resources and power are actively using these things to only cater to themselves and to others in their circles and others who have their same amount of resources. And these people are a small, these people are a small group out of the 7 billion plus people that live on this earth. These people that have this much influence, these corrupt individuals, these groups, some that operate in secrecy and some who are more open than others. These individuals are a small group, yet they dictate so much. And they dictate so much where they've pushed these chess pieces perfectly aligned where we could be on Europe could be on the brick of war, but for the whole world, we could be on the brick of World War III because these same few people, and few being a couple 100,000, whatever it may be, few compared to 7 billion, these few, these few only cater to themselves and their benefit and their long-term survival. They don't care about us. They don't care about the working class in America. They don't care about the working class in the Ukraine. They don't care about the working class in Russia. They only care about themselves. And in this whole event, it's important that people take time to look into what's really going on. And you will come to see that just because Russia shot first does not mean that they are the bad guy in this situation, in these events that are unfolding. Russia, Putin, their leader, his choice, his actions, yes, attacking human life is wrong. I am not here to condone taking of human life, regardless of what it may be. Although I understand the importance of war and the need for war, I don't condone it. And if I believe that we can move forward as a society and achieve peace amongst all humans and to come to a common denominator, war will have to fizzle out. But I understand it. And because of that, I understand that it is unfortunate that there will now be lives lost from both sides, Ukraine and Russia, and maybe more. But depending on where this goes, it could be a lot more from different regions. And it is unfortunate. And it's even more unfortunate when you realize now that it is again the working class people who are the pawns in these chess moves that these higher ups are committing right now. And it's even more frustrating when you see the country trying to promote democracy the most, the United States. We sit here on our throne of bad decision making and morale. We sit on this throne that we claim to be the compass of how to lead a nation and how to lead a democracy, as if we did not support Israel attacking the Palestinians last year in Biden's first administration, or how we left Afghanistan, but we left it in a state where the Taliban are controlling it, and you're controlling it with limited resources because we have sanctions on them because of the Taliban. So how can we leave a country to the enemy voluntarily and then say, oh yeah, they can't have anything? When we put them there, we left it for them. Just let them have their thing so that way we can stop killing the people in between, the working class people of Afghanistan who are just trying to live. And that connects back to what's going on in the Ukraine and in Russia. Putin has been giving us these warnings since Obama was in president, 2 presidents ago. He's been telling us these warnings. He's been giving us saying, hey, I'm going to take care of my country because my country has been, in his eyes, very weak and very lacking when it has come to the 21st century progression of what's what I'm trying to think of, commerce. Putin believes that since the end of the Cold War, because of the way it was conducted on the Soviet side, and it catering to us in the West, the way before Putin came in with the ambition of truly restoring Russia. And you can't blame him, guys. Like, if you were, and I think the reason why people can't step into his shoes or way of thinking, because we live in a passionless society where it's because we're so independent thinking, we can't imagine somebody being passionate about their country or about their family in a way where somebody would become in power and say, I want to lead my country to the great sovereignty. And that's where Russia was going. And then here we come, and through our manipulations, through Europe to Russia, we're using the Ukraine and the European Union, although the European Union believe that they are their own separate entity from all this and that they can have their own big cake from what's going on, as if they're not being used by us. And how everybody is being played by China, probably, most likely, with the way things are going. And it's unfortunate because, again, I'm not saying I'm a pro-Russian person. I have no connection to Russia. I have not lived there. But if I see as somebody that respects leaders, I'm not going to say that Putin is a perfect leader from what I've observed and from what I've researched. I want to say he's a perfect leader, but I can respect a leader who was willing to take his ambition and use that to drive a whole country forward. And that's where they were going in the last 7 years, because they were starting to make economic advancements. Because anybody in this world will see, regardless if it's a capitalist society, a communist, a socialist, economic freedom is a path to overall freedom. And not saying, no, they have to be rich, but you have to be able to have a part of an economy to feel free, to be able to own things. That's why the Great Reset, which is connected to all this, is so dangerous, because you will own nothing and be happy about it. One of the greatest pleasures of being a human is to be able to own something and say, this is mine, I work for this, or I can claim this as part of me. It's a part of my extended identity. So how can you own nothing and be happy about it? That's some great manipulation right there. And it's the same Great Reset that's also taking advantage of what's going on, because if you follow the money, there's a lot of money involved into what's happening right now in the Ukraine. And it's unfortunate that the people of the Ukraine are being played victim, not because Putin is trying to be is trying to conquer them. No, they're being a victim because America is, again, focused on power and money, and is using their geographical location, something that they can't control, as a way to check Russia. Because on the path of power and money, we have this weird beef with Russia, as if Russia Putin and Russian government just wants to be able to thrive. The people of Russia just want to be able to live in their country and thrive without feeling like they have to travel somewhere else to fucking make a living. A country and all that has so much pride. People want to live in that pride. They don't want to live in poverty. When they're being told we're a great nation, they want to feel they're in a great nation, and they deserve that chance. And here we come, being ego-based and making everything about us. We're twisting all that around. And yet we don't see how that's also pushing a bigger problem, which is going into the Great Reset. Because then you have China and Russia, through all of this, becoming closer. And you have India, who is a rising market, also siding with China and Russia. We cannot have this. If we are trying to achieve unity against forces that we cannot control, like climate change, things that are going on beyond us, like viruses, if we ever want to stand up against these forces that are beyond humans, we have to start uniting, and this is not the way to go. We're creating more division, especially us, this country who's out here, the balls that have Hollywood trying to share solidarity with the people of the Ukraine, as if people in Hollywood really care, when they're bending over backwards for China. It's like, I don't even know why you're even speaking to Hollywood when your intentions have been muddy since your inception. You follow the money. So who you side with flip-flops whenever. When one of the biggest movies in Hollywood, A Birth of a Nation, attacked Afro-American people and has still played a part to this day. So Hollywood, I don't care about your opinion. And then we have the lamestream media, of course. And I'm actually surprised a lot of the lamestream media from the right side, who was very anti COVID stuff and TV lies and all that bullshit, they're quick to hop on this anti-Russia propaganda. It's very weird. And to me, the fact that all these publications are now all aligning against Russia, it shows and all that. At the end of the day, all the little squabble over cultural wars and this whole what's passing and what's not passing is a bunch of facade, when they're all able to rally around war. You always see how when it comes to war, the Democrats and Republicans always seem to get back on the same side. Fuck COVID, right? Forget the difference that we had to vax and unvax. No, because when it comes to war, we need that, because we're a broke nation. If we need war, if we can all align for that, right? Because regardless of what, you always see The one unifying thing. You saw it back in 2001. Shout out to Bush. And he was a Republican. And we have a Democrat now. So it shows you there's no fucking difference for people who still can't see that there is a who still can't see that there is no difference between these people and these organizations. Think about that when you're out here sharing, oh, we stand with Ukraine and we stand with the protest of the Russian people who are protesting the tyranny of Putin. No, how about you stand up and protest the tyranny of goddamn the United States of America? Show solidarity for the people in your own country first before you start butting your heads in for problems that don't even fucking belong to you. And if you are, learn all the facts. And then you will actually probably stand with Russia and Ukraine and feel sorry for both of them and that they're being pushed against each other all for the sake of America being scared of a rising... Shut up. America's a communist state already. Yeah, swallow that one. But no, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to take time. And that's why I say it's important that we fight for a truth right now, because you have this great reset that is being pushed upon us. And it's going to maximize over what happens in Eastern Europe right now. It will maximize off that, and that will be part of the crumbling of our way of thinking and way of living. So that way this great reset can happen. And the great narrative that they're pushing, part of that great narrative in enforcing this reset is we need a bad guy. We need something to do, and Russia is going to be part of that because Russia is our good old boogeyman. Why not bring them back into the fold? And it's kind of wild when Russia has been our major, although we disagree on things, that's still, in a way, a brother. Like, yes, it's like two brothers fighting. Yes, we may fight, but in every major war, they've been on our side. Besides our own little, again, brotherly squabbles, when it came down to it, they've always been on our side. So the fact that we're treating them this way, pushing them to attack people, and then brainwashing our people, and trying to attempt to brainwash people around the world that this person that we push to shoot first is the bad guy, is very fucked up and is very evil. And the fact that people are so okay with that, all the people who were fighting for human rights 2 years ago for George Floyd, but can't fight for the rise of the working class in the Ukraine and in Russia. And I keep saying that because, again, it is Russian people who are also a victim of U.S. manipulation. Understand that, because that is how we can have truth prevail and beat this great narrative. And inshallah, we can see the many more bullshits and the many more chess moves that our government and our corporations and our military is willing to do, and the lives that they're willing to sacrifice in other countries, not only in ours, but in other countries, and the games that we are willing to play with other people's leadership for our benefit. It's evil. We have to call it out. Regardless if you're spiritual, atheist, or whatever your background, I don't care. We have to be able to call out evil for what it is, because inshallah, that is how we can have truth prevail, and truth will guide us into a better direction, not lies. Because lies bring death, clearly.